Welcome to FCC Supporters Square, for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Shipman and Matt Gorman. Hey, well, I'm back. Our last episode, as fun as it was for us, internet, for whatever reason, I work in this room where I record, and it works fine all day. And I do software development, so I have plenty of things that I need internet for. It just seemed to want to go in and out uh, when we were doing what we were doing. Um, well, let's see, in and out. Speaking of in and out, Mark Suffin, my co-host, is trying to figure some things out. I think he has some, like me, has life sometimes gets in the way. So I'm going to start this off just briefly. When Mark comes back, he will join in and join in on the fun. I'm actually heading out of town again. I've been out of town quite a bit. I was out of town last week, and we're going to talk about that. So while I was away, there was a game in Toronto that went in our favor, which gave us the Supporters Shield. I am so excited. At the beginning of the season, I did not think we would win the Supporters Shield. I thought we would make the playoffs, and I thought we would, if we played well, get a home spot, get a maybe 3 seed, if we're lucky, maybe a 2 seed. I wasn't thinking any further than that. Here we are, number one throughout the playoffs. Supporters Shield shows up on Wednesday. Again, I was on vacation. What a glorious time to be an FC Cincinnati fan, particularly for those of us who had gone through three wooden spoons. For those of us who followed even into USL days where we had some success, but never got the full success. We did win the Supporters Shield into USL. That team was a great team, and you can find out in the playoffs. You just run into some buzzsaws and some bad decisions, bad play. One bad bounce happens. Where was I? Did you ask? Well, I think you asked. I hope you did. I was in Florida, on the beach, hanging out. I booked this like 4 months ago. Basically before Messi showed up, we decided to be at the beach, and my wife said, "Are we playing away?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Where?" "Miami." She goes, "You want to go?" I said, "Yes." So we did that. So I had missed, but I've seen from afar, and I'm so excited for all of you guys, you fans, to get the supporter shield. That I have been to the airport before to celebrate the team coming home from a playoff win, but there's nothing like that, and they were nuts. You guys were nuts. It was fantastic. I wasn't crying. You were crying when I was watching it. The joy of celebrating, but the joy, I've seen a lot of fans celebrate at an airport, but the joy of the team enjoying the fans and vice versa. Nobody was going, out of hand. Everybody was really cool and just joyful. Um, it was just so much fun to watch from afar, and knowing that if I were here, I would have gone and been down there at 1 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I would have enjoyed it immensely. It may never happen again. That's okay with me. You take vacation when you can. I picked that week because there were no home games, and I thought, well, decision day was going to be very important. I can't go during decision day. Boy, was I wrong. Mark, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Welcome back.
Glad to be back, my man. A little under the weather, but I'm hanging in there. Um, I'd say a little bit of this is going to go a long way for my return to health. So, but yeah, I caught some of your commentary there. What a beautiful night after we clinched, and great time at CVG to welcome the lads back. Was there with my beautiful wife Paula and about 100 other fanatics, just having a blast. Certainly, just an amazing night for that. And then we can talk about Red Bulls and getting their signature win of the year against us, but it did not tamp out a beautiful night in TQL Stadium for the Supporter Shield to be presented to our club. So what a beautiful night that was.
And it's I read all about it. For those who may not know what the Supporter Shield is, it's for the team who wins the league. There's two divisions in this league, so it's not just first place, it's first place in the league, the most points. That is us. It is 40 pounds of stainless steel and sterling silver. It is quite heavy. I heard Lucho when they handed it to Lucho goes, "Oh, this is heavy." Yeah, I think he had to think about that for a second before he did that. I think that's why he was rocking back and forth to make sure he could get it up and over. But that's what it is. Our lovely supporter group, the ISC, in conjunction with the front office, will have it on display for Fan Appreciation Day. So you can take a look at it. I'm sure there's going to be other things. If you belong to supporter groups, check with your supporter groups, see if there's a time or when you might be able to view that. I think those things are happening, but I've been away for a week, so I can't give you any insider fan information other than what I know from the front office. So, but be excited, be happy. I was at the Miami game. I was not at the Red Bull game. Really, the only thing about the Red Bull game that I want to talk about is the Supporter Shield ceremony. I hadn't had a chance to watch the replay yet. I've been busy with work, and I'm flying out to New York tomorrow night. I've done a lot of flying I've flown in the last month. Seattle, Eugene, Oregon, Orlando, Miami, and now New York. So I know all the airports. By the way, if you're going, there's going to be a Skyline opening in Terminal B really soon, and there is a Wendy's. So get yourself some three-ways before you get on that plane, because everybody would love you to have that three-way smell. Go ahead.
Well, hey, Matt, I want you to talk about Drive Pink Stadium. Tell me about the environment. Tell me about everything about it. Happy for you and Sheila and the Grimeses down there. That was just beautiful to have all you guys down there cheering us on. Thank you for that, by the way. And just give me your synopsis of that time in the stadium.
First of all, happy anniversary to Pat and Pam Grimes. You're lovely people. Thank you for Ubering after the game for us. It was only a couple of miles, but thank you and happy anniversary. I know you're having a lovely time down by Key West in some secret location, secret love nest, I'm sure. But that was great. So it's my very first thought, and somebody kind of said it, and I agreed with them as soon as I saw it. It really clicked in. It's as if they took mat-free stadium and stuck it in Fort Lauderdale. Now, it's not Miami, it's Fort Lauderdale, which is 20 miles north. There's actually a Fort Lauderdale airport. We flew into Miami and then drove 25 miles to get to a hotel close to it's in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing. There's a couple of houses across the street, but there's nothing. It's like campgrounds, parking lot, right? So they all tailgate. So I was told to go to the brown lot. I asked where the brown lot was, and two people said no English. And then the third guy goes, "Hey, welcome." And I said, "Thanks." I said, "Brown lot." He goes, "I think it's over there somewhere. I don't know. Want a beer?" I'm like, "I'm from Ohio. Yes, give me a beer." Yeah. So I got a beer, walked around. Most people were speaking Spanish. Quite a few people who work at the stadium do not speak English, which is for a Midwesterner really strange. or if you're in Miami, that's kind of where it is. Really, if you're an English speaker, you're kind of in the minority in that part of the world. Not going to get into any kind of politics about whether that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm just explaining what is.
Yeah.
So please don't hate me when I say that. But that is more or less the truth. There are plenty of people who do speak English, so it's not like you can't get around. But we asked a couple of people who worked at the stadium brown lot, and they went, no English. And I'm like, Marone? Like, right, maybe this way. So that was very interesting. The key part that you need to know is that there are very few Miami fans. Everybody there was wearing a Messi shirt except
Yeah.
for one guy named Duke with an 8.
Duke.
Other than that, so it holds about 18,000. It's wide open, so it's not really the box like lower.com or Austin or some of the other square boxes. It is kind of wide open. It's aluminum stands.
Yeah.
To give you an idea how quality it is, particularly in the section that we were in. My wife stood up and in the back of her chair shook a full beer that was being held like this and squirted out all over the place. So if you stood up too fast, the beer in the row behind you would get spilled. It's quality. Everything's pink. There was a glorious sunset, but it's weird. It's right next to an airport. I'm guessing that's where the team flies in and out. But I mean, think of Lunken Airport right next to Tico Stadium, like right next. It's weird.
How convenient.
It's weird. Crowd was the quietest crowd I've ever heard in my entire life.
Really?
Now there was some things going on because the prices have gone up 2 or in some cases 3 times last year's price. So the SG said, we're not going to do anything. We're not showing up. And then the front office said, I don't know what they did, but the front office talked them into doing it. They said, well, no flags and no instruments. And I saw flag waving, and they were playing drums most of the time and chanting again in Spanish. So I was really not sure what they were saying, but that was interesting. They have like these long pink strips that they wave kind of up and down, like right down the middle section, about a foot and a half wide. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Chivas did that. It's very much a Latin thing, but I've seen it in Europe also. I think with as strong a Bailey as we have and the angle of it, the optics of that in the Bailey would be just immense. I kind of like that because it makes the section pop. It's not just a bunch of people in one section. It's got a little color. You know what I'm saying?
See ya, but I can tell you the goal dance when you guys are going is a much better optic than any ribbons that you're waving up and down.
No doubt.
So
100%.
I'm not sure if they were full voice, but I can tell you this is that the only noise that was really being made, there was 2 things. One, they were told to stomp the aluminum, the bleachers, so they make that kind of high school stomp sound, and that would last for about 10 seconds because people get tired, and then randomly Messi chants. Right before he was even warming up, Messi, then it would die down, then it would come up again. Here's all you need to know. Messi came in, but there were 2 subs, not just Messi, and the non-Messi sub came out first. Nobody applauded. Everybody was dead silent. Number 2 came out, and I'm like, and my wife goes, why aren't they applauding? If I was number 2, I'd feel bad for because nobody cares about any other part of this team except for Messi.
Was that Avila, the one that hit the post?
Oh, I tell you what, man of the match, the post. The Miami hit the post 4 times. We hit it like twice.
Yep.
I mean, that was the joke. That was the joke at halftime. Everybody's like, all the Cincinnati fans. That was fun because they were quiet. They are not Miami fans. They're Messi fans.
Yeah.
They could care less about anything. Once Messi was there, children, adults, everybody got their phones and got excited. And as soon as they announced it, they were recording. They weren't chanting or cheering. They cheered a little bit and then they stopped and recorded. Like everybody wanted to be quiet so they could get their perfect footage of Messi
Oh,
going on the field. I mean, I love my guys, and I'm excited when Lucho comes on, but I'm not going to film him every time he comes on the field.
yeah,
But I think for a lot of people, that's their first and maybe the only time that they're going to get a chance to see Messi. So I kind of get it, but in the context of I've been to all other places, and there's a lot of chanting going on. Now I've been
yeah,
in quite a few away areas, and the SGs get us because they go to away matches too. But
yeah.
the rank and file oftentimes don't understand, and sometimes they get mad. They really get mad. Why are you chanting? And it was fun because there was only 3 rows. There was only 3 rows, not the last 3 rows, but 3 rows. And and when we started chanting, they started to turn around and go, why are they what's going on? Nobody ever said anything. They were just confused, and no counter chants or no what's something that they would do. No, you guys be quiet or you guys suck or anything like that. It was just okay. I guess why are they doing that? And so we were having great fun in singing. About 20 minutes in, they got a Miami sprinkle, which was a light to medium rain for about 3 to 5 minutes, enough to get your hair wet, enough to make it a little uncomfortable. I'd say it chased off probably about 30 to 50 people. And I'm not sure if they came back. I think they might have, but they were not back until at least after halftime. Uh, the stadium is all wide open except for the 2 on the sides. One of the, I guess, cool things or interesting things is the I think he's from Mexico. The Go guy. He is their announcer. So he was doing all the commercials and he was telling them to stomp their feet, and he would do all the coming in. And but I think he called it he goes Vasquez instead of Vasquez. So he threw a lot of little Hispanic flair on all the people coming in and going out. So from a fan's perspective, from an away match perspective, they were all very nice. You'd get a free beer. Nobody was really one person walked by goes, oh, wow. And I said, yeah, look at the table. And then there was no other response. I didn't think there would be. So most people were confused or didn't even care, didn't even know that there were FC Cincinnati fans there. Didn't They were there to see Messi. So the Messi show has thankfully come and went. The rest of the league, you're welcome. We did our job. We should have done it in August. By the way, I mean, we could have had the trouble. I mean, I don't think Leagues Cup happened the way Leagues Cup happened, but I don't know. I mean, Houston played very well against Miami, even though they didn't have Messi. But playing in Tico Stadium against our people for the first trophy, and then the Supporter Shield, and then possibly the MLS Cup, having that trouble would have been really awesome, and it really makes me mad that Messi messed it up. But yeah, so it was a little wet. It was a lot of fun. $15 for a Heineken.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay, no. But we did our chanting. We did our FCC corner chants. And we did Roman Celentano a few times because he played very well. But not all of the were deflected by Celentano that hit the post, but a couple were.
Yeah.
And he made them. You'd have to shoot perfect in order to score against him. Although their goalkeeper was pretty up to the task as well. Uh,
Oh,
Fortunately, they switched sides and they were shooting at us.
yeah.
It was a brilliant shot and a great save, and Barrial right there to put it away. I mean, he
Yeah.
made it was a no doubter. He did not. Vasquez had what I'm sure if you watched on TV was like a sitter.
Yep.
He thought it was a sitter. So don't fully blame Vasquez because you don't get to see what we saw because we're a little bit closer. You know, some of those angles, even in MLS, on the MLS TV, is from 100 yards or more away, and they
Yeah.
don't really zoom in, so you just kind of see it. It's like, well, he was wide open, and that should have been a goal. It was a brilliant pass, and he didn't put a lot on it, but he put enough on it like he thought he had a setter, right?
Hmm.
You don't want to overclock it if you think you've got a wide open net.
Yeah.
That keeper was like a cat and blocked it. So it looked
Yeah.
like he hit it like right at the keeper, but no, that keeper saw the pass coming and played it. He played the pass before the pass was actually made. So I think it really caught Vasquez by surprise because he thought it was a goal. And by his
Yeah.
reaction after he kicked it, he was like, how did that not go in? That was a wide
Yeah.
open. Where did you come from? That's real. Was the where did you come from look on his face? There was a lot being made of people pointing fingers and whatnot. You know, Santos being in the first half, FC Cincinnati looked disjointed. Um, Santos doesn't know how to make the right pass. He doesn't know when to go to goal. He doesn't know when to make a run. He runs fast. He gets the ball and then either takes
Yeah.
a bad shot or passes it off
He,
somewhere. It
he,
was you
he's
could
your
just see how disjointed and frustrating, particularly Lucho was.
yeah. You've got two center strikers that are trying to work together, but that's like having two jibbies out there. They're not going to work together. You know,
Right.
it and Santos, some very very good plays to goal. It took some amazing saves to keep him out of the score sheet. But kudos. Santos came in and did what we knew he could do, and that was to attack the goal. He got good passes and he attacked the goal. It's just not they didn't go in. Now, granted, we're asking him to do passing and other things. That's not his strong suit. And to a bit of a degree, it's not Vasquez's either. But you look, you want them to play the position they've been told to do, and whatever it happens, you don't try to overdo it. You just do what you know you can do, but don't try to make the overwhelming play. Unfortunately, we see a lot, like an Elvis Powell, who ends up getting to dribble all the way into almost to the six, uh, without being challenged. But again, that's not his suit. He's a defender and a distributor, but not a dribble to the goaler. He's not that. So, but yeah, second half, I just thought, Boop Penza coming in, the chemistry seemed to be there. And literally, if you look back at the play that Barrial scored, it was a play that sort of got broken up. Barrial, didn't get good foot on it, and it got taken away. Bupenza tracked back, and tell me what number 10 is tracking back actively. You don't see that, but you're going to see that in this play where I think it was Kubo or Nobodo uh, stopped. Bupenza tracked all the way back, grabbed the ball, took it the other way. Kubo took it over. I didn't understand that, but made the shot, and then Barrial, of course, put it in. But Bupenza, I mean, tracking back and getting that ball was the key to getting that goal.
He played very well.
Yeah,
Bupenza played very well. So we were on the south. There was probably 40 rows. We were in row 31, maybe
yeah,
35 rows. We were pretty close on the south side. So the north side is there, Bailey, and it's open, and we're on basically the other side. Um, but most of the good play, both by Miami and by FC Cincinnati, was on our side of the field, so we could see things. Bupenza made a really good run, beat a couple of people, and actually turned and got a shot.
yeah,
Now, Acosta was mad because he didn't make a pass sooner, but
Yeah.
quite frankly, don't overblow it, because it's one of those where Costa does that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Costa will dribble, go by somebody, and take a wide angle shot and get stopped. But nobody else gets mad, and the fans don't quite get mad. It's like, oh, Boop did what he can do, which is, you forget that he's not, unlike Vasquez. He is a dribble to the goal guy. He can take people on one.
Yeah.
That Miami defense, look, that Miami defense was dreadful.
Yeah.
You could tell that Messi was hurt. But oh my gosh, how many non-existent calls did he get outside he got four. I counted them. Four.
Yeah.
Four free kicks
Oh,
in his spot
yeah.
between 18 and a half and 25 is his spot,
Oh, just
like right inside the post. And I'm like, it was like, no, they're just giving him
I
chance after chance, and he's hitting them high, he's hitting them wide. The
yeah.
defense is kind of getting into their head. You can tell he was. I think he didn't like the criticism of, well, I'm going to shut it down for the year and all that. So I think a lot of people were kind of mad. It's a home game. We spent a lot of money. A lot of people spent a lot of money to go see him,
Yeah.
and if you didn't show up for at least 45 minutes, and it was, I think, a little bit more than that. But
Yeah.
when he came in, everybody was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No, this is perfect." He's Messi, healthy Messi 10 years ago doesn't play defense. He
Yeah.
rarely played defense at his prime. That's
Yeah.
not his job. He's used to having a team where he is the offense, and he's got other guys that he can play offense on. He don't care about if you score 2 goals a game. You don't really need a defense, and Miami's kind of that way. They have a
Yeah.
dreadful defense. So bringing off a defensive player, a defensive midfielder for Messi, I'm like, thank you very much. That's one extra spot, and certainly
Yeah.
that was a part of that.
For sure. For sure.
So we won. We got to do our goal dance, which we loved, and everybody else was. I think there was a couple of kids who were, quite frankly, they were wearing Messi stuff, but I think they were like, "I wish I could do that. That looked like fun." There was a couple of kids who were like, "This looks like fun. I wish I could do that." But you're on the other team. We got to
Come
chant.
on up.
We beat Messi. That was very much fun. They were doing some kind of kicking balls into the stands after the game, and so we kind of hung out. But we didn't really have. Usually, when you go on an away match, there's somebody who's talking to their front office that sets it up and says, "Hey, we need you here by here,
Yeah.
and come see us and gather, and
Yeah.
we'll move you to where you." No, we showed up. They're like, I don't know. You talk to that guy. It's like, we're here. We're the away team. Where are we sitting? And they're like, "Do you know where you're sitting?" I said, "Well, mine says row 31, so I guess we'll take these rows." And there's people sitting with us. There was Miami fans sitting at the end of our row, in one of our 3 rows, and the other two, and there's people behind us. So
Huh.
very strange, very weird. There was a guy who kind of would come up and look at us. And I mean, obviously, I guess last week was NYCFC, so they might have had some. We're not that kind of banner. Certainly not the way folks that were there. Everybody was great, lovely, supporting. Somebody had an Acosta sign. I took a picture of. I threw it out on the social. So I wanted to make sure that sign got recorded. We
Yep.
beat Messi. We loved that, and we knew that they were eliminated. And so we were like, okay, it's Saturday. We're still here. Let's go do something. And somebody goes, "There's nothing. There's no bars like the pitch. There's no pitch.
Yeah.
No, nothing. This is, you got to remember, this is a campground, a fairground type of thing where everybody just parks, and then everybody's trying to leave, and there's nothing." Somebody goes,
Huh.
"Well, there's an Irish bar, Flanagan's. It's about 2 miles down the road." We like, "Yes, you you had me at Irish bar," and that's what I said. Winners go to the Irish bar to celebrate. And there was
Amen.
about 12 of us at the Irish bar, Flanagan's. Thank you, Flanagan's. They had these amazing nachos that were about a foot and a half high. It was,
Wow.
oh yeah, so everything was on there. It was amazing. It was insane. We had some pints, and JMO and ginger was
Oh,
consumed by people, and
yes.
we did one more chant, and then somebody found the jukebox and played Mr. Brightside in there. So
Oh,
before we all left, Mr. Brightside was played for those who enjoy that song.
yeah.
I'm happy that it was played. Maybe not happy that it is our song, but it is what it is, and I'll go along with the crowd. That's the majority wants that. That's fine with me. It's not
Nice.
my favorite, but I don't have really any say in this, so I don't care. Then and a good time was had by all, and
Good.
that's the away match where we're at. We don't have a game this week. We
Right.
have we have Fan Appreciation Day, so look
Yep.
for emails if you've not signed up. I am not affiliated in any way with the front office. I don't get any kickbacks, but I'm just saying if you want to know where they're at, they're giving out free swag. The front office does a great job with Fan Appreciation Day and really taking care of the fans more than
Yep.
a lot. Trust me, I've been to a lot of away matches. There's a lot of grumbling on things that are or are not happening that maybe should happen.
Right.
But Gary is going out, and they have gear, and they've got Kroger cards. I don't know, all kinds of fun stuff. Sign up to the FC Cincinnati app to find out all those details. Because again, I'm not affiliated at all with the front office. I am a fan, just like Mark and you guys are. I'm one of y'all, as they would say.
And one of y'all. Good stuff.
um,
Good stuff.
yeah, so the last game of the season is Atlanta.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
I think I think you're going to see a rested team. Acosta did look like he was playing a little hurt. I think that's also why he was a little angry. And it was wet. Everybody was
Yeah.
slipping after the rain fell on the field. Um, Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, yes, the restrooms, they were not almost portal-potty. You know those like double wides that are bathrooms with, so it's wet, the steps are bent, and the rail is almost off. And I
Oh,
heard somebody go down. I was like, oh my goodness. And so they're like, be careful going up the stairs. So yeah, they don't have permanent bathrooms. It's all we
well,
needed
that
was a deep fried Twinkie to complete the experience, I think. You don't know how good you have at
yeah.
Cincinnati till you go to Miami.
Well, they're expecting to get a new stadium, so they can't get it soon enough, it sounds like.
Absolutely, and they need to put it somewhere where you can go walk and enjoy stuff. But so Atlanta, I think you're going to see all first team. I think you're going to see a well rested team who wants to go out and get some minutes. Really wants to make a statement against Atlanta because Atlanta's in the playoffs, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we don't know. We don't know. All we know right now is we're one, Orlando's two,
Mhm.
and 3 through 9 are still up in the air.
Yes. So decision day is going to be paramount for Atlanta. They're going to come in looking for the 3 points to raise their. I believe they'll get home match uh, favor if they win. That's what they're gunning for. So I think we'll see most, if not all, of their full uh, complement of regular players. I think we go back to maybe not as many uh, out, but I'd say a good amount. Maybe not as much as Red Bulls. I just thought that was a little odd. Um, but
Everybody was tired
yeah,
and hurt and whatnot. I I think they're going to play the full 11. I think they want to bring the. I think they want their starting 11. This is a playoff tune-up.
yeah,
They'd be. I think if this was this Saturday, I think you'd be right. I think there'd be some rotations going on.
yeah.
I think the time for rotations is over, particularly with an extra week of rest, so
Well, yeah,
they can get themselves straightened out. There's some things to straighten out, particularly in the midfield. I think we need to be a little bit better for the playoff run. Offense looks good, defense looks good.
yeah.
Nothing major, but hey, Atlanta needed those 3 points against Columbus and ended up only with a point. But
Yes.
but Columbus was up for
I know.
50 minutes and spit the bit in the last 15 minutes.
Yep.
Sounds familiar.
Yep.
So, there's a lot of tough guns in the Eastern Conference. I'm glad that we got our supporter shield because
Yeah.
MLS Cup is a crapshoot, but I can't wait to see December Cincinnati soccer.
Yeah.
We've got some time. So yeah, so I think
For
what
sure.
happens is they play midweek and then we'll probably play Saturday because I guess that's the advantage is that you play a wild card team on short rest at your place.
Yep.
It's the best of three, but
Yes.
that means they play Wednesday, Saturday, and then Wednesday, Saturday.
Mhm.
Hopefully we can put away the number 8 seed in 2 games and not 3, and get a little
Correct.
rest between you know Philadelphia, New England, Columbus. They're all
In
could
Atlanta.
be in there. They,
Yep.
they any one of those could be in our second round opponent. But
Yep.
that is just a one and done, and it is at our place, and I think we can
Yep.
beat any of them,
Which
including
is great.
Orlando. We owe them floppers.
Yes, we do.
Well, that's about all the time that we have. That's more or less the Miami report. The season's coming to a close. It's been a wonderful season. It's been a wonderful ride. We have some guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. We have some things that we're planning that could be interesting and different. We'll see how that works out. We need to talk to some people and whatnot, and we'll let you know when we know.
Yeah.
But I had somebody who's been listening who sent me an email. I said, because and this, I'm telling this to you guys, fcc.supp.square@gmail. Send it to me if you want to be on, because somebody said, well, I do, and I've got brothers and I'd like to be on. And I said, great. So we will, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have
Yep.
some guests talking
All right.
about your experiences, talking about what you've done, your away matches,
Yep.
your drive pink experience, whatever it takes. We'd love to
Exactly.
hear from you guys.
Exactly.
Final word, Mark.
Well, Matt, I'm just thrilled again with the supporter shield. I'm going to need to cut this off, unfortunately. Talk to you, my
Okay.
man.
All right. I love you. I love you guys too. Work and life get in the way. We will see you next week on FCC Supporters Square.